Hi, welcome to Make It Monday. My name is Deborah Harrison with Simply Sweet and Ink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and each week I come to you with a Make It Monday project to share just a little creativity to start your week. This week, however, I am coming to you pre-recorded video because I have a scheduling conflicts coming up this week. So I hope that you will share this video with your family and friends so that you can spread a little creativity with them as well. Also too, that helps spread the word about my business and helps me meet new people. So if you do share, please let me know that you share in the comments below so that I can enter you into this week's drawing to have today's project mailed to you if your name is drawn for the week. So I want to share a few things with you before we get started on today's project. First, don't forget, if you have not already requested your holiday catalog, it does go live on August 4th. And plus two, if you shop during July 2020, and you spend at least $50 or more, you will receive, for every $50 increment before tax and shipping, you will receive a $5 bonus days coupon that you can spend in August, starting on August 4th, that runs through August 31st. So perfect time, get your holiday catalog, make your wish list, and get ready to shop. So guys, this past month I have been focusing on two bundles, the Well Done bundle and the Nothing's Better Than bundle. I wanted to be able to show you different ways to use these bundles because I know personally as a stamper, I like to get value for the products that I purchase. So I'm going to show you another project today with the Well Done bundle, but I want to show you too some events that I have coming up with the Nothing's Better Than bundle that I think you're going to love. Let me turn my camera down and we will get crafting. Okay, I think we are positioned pretty well. Today we are going to make this cute little, what I call an ocean porthole card. I had hoped to actually be able to do a shaker card with you, but unfortunately my sequins are on back order and they weren't going to get here in time. But this is still a really cute, adorable card. So for today's project, like each week, I have a project sheet for you that you can pull off of my blog at simplysweetinkdesigns.com, and you can get the measurements for today's project and enjoy making one of your own. Now, a few things that are coming up that I want to share with you. As I said, one of the product focuses that I am doing this month is with the Nothing's Better Than bundle. Coming up in early August is my Nothing's Better Than home decor class where you will make a magnet frame with interchangeable magnets. You can click on the link and to be able to get more information about that. I will also too post the video so you can kind of see what this magnet frame looks like in action. Also too, coming up is my monthly stamp club, and I'm super excited about the projects this month. You will make actually 8 cards, 2 each of the 4 designs. We've got one with the chocolate, and I actually used an embossing folder that kind of looks like, you know, fudge and everything. So it's really, really cute, or like icing. And then we have the coffee one, which I use the background that kind of resembles coffee beans a little bit. And then the cookies with the little plaid embossing folder, and then the cocktails. So the class will include, like I said, 8 cards with the envelopes, pre-cut supplies. You will want to own the Nothing's Better Than bundle to be able to complete the projects with the dies and the stamp set. You can look on the link for the stamp club class to see what other supplies that you'll want to own. My BOGO sale is going on till the end of July, so if you want to check it out, you can see how you can get some of my retired products for free. Alright guys, let's get started on today's craft. I'm going to pull my supplies over and keep my sample over here as a reference, and then we will get going. So I am actually starting off with a 4 1/4 by 11 inch card base. And what I did is I scored it in half at 5 1/2 inches, and I burnished it, folded it over and burnished it. Then I am taking a piece of the Granny Green cardstock, which measures 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to put that on my card base here. same one, I'm about to say it should work. All right, so we're gonna put that on the Calypso Coral card base. And then I took some of the Well Done Designer Series paper. Now the paper I chose has whales and jellyfish on the back, but I'm gonna use the blue speckled background for my layer. And this piece measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So we're gonna add that on top. Now this may look just slightly different on the measurements. I am doing a different width of border on this card compared to my sample because I kind of didn't want quite as much green to show. So I changed that up a little bit. All right, so next what I did is I wanted to have a background, kind of a sea background. So I took this piece right here that had the scenery in it, and I took a look at it and I decided where would I like to have my scenery. So I took my largest circle layering die and I kind of figured where I wanted it, and then I ran it through my die cutting machine to be able to get that circle. And so what we're going to do next is I'm just going to kind of work with the circle right now. Next what I did is I took a piece of the Calypso Coral and I took my largest scalloped layering die and my third largest circle, and I put them together just like this. I ran it through my die cutting machine so that I could get basically this, where I have the inner circle, and then when I die cut it, it removes that circle and I end it with a ring to create my porthole. So what I also did is I took my largest die, my largest circle die, and I cut out a circle out of the window sheet. Now you do want to be a little careful when you're working with your window sheets. Make sure you have nice clean fingers. Right now I do have a little bit of adhesive on there on my fingers, so there's a little bit of smudge. It's not too bad. I'll try to clean that up here shortly. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn over my ring and I'm going to put a little adhesive, and I'm talking just barely any adhesive at all, because when I press down on that window sheet, it's actually going to squish the glue out a little bit, and I don't want it showing on the outside. So just a very fine bit of adhesive. Oops, that's a little more than I wanted. Kind of spread that out a little bit. Now this does take a little bit because I want to take my time so that I don't mess up. Almost there. Just around the bend here. Okay, oops, spread that out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my adhesive sheet and I'm gonna layer that on the back there, and I'm gonna gently press around the edges. You can see how, you can probably see in the camera how it's kind of squishing out a little bit. So, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set that aside and let that dry, and I'm gonna work on my scenery. So what I did is I took from the Well Done Designer Series paper, I manually cut out one of the little turtles, and I'm going to put a dimensional on the back because I want to give it a little lift like he's swimming in my little porthole. And we're just going to position him right there. Now I want to make it look like there's some bubbles coming up. So I'm going to take my pearls and we're going to add some cute little bubbles. Now you could also too, if you don't have pearls, you can always use clear epoxy enamel dots as well and create a very similar effect. All right. Very cute. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our adhesive strips, and these are really awesome for working with things like that where you want some lift. So I'm just going to go around, and I've torn some pieces already, so I'm just using those. I don't need to encompass the whole thing. Now if I was making a shaker card, I would want to put this all the way around to have a tight seal, but since that's not what I'm making today, we're just going to go around the edge. Just every so often. And the nice thing is I can get a little bit of bend out of this, which is nice. And then one more right here. Okay, so I'm going to take these off, little strips, little paper strips. See if I can do that. It's a little, they're kind of thin, so it's hard to get a hold of them. One more, come on. This one's being ornery with me today. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually, because I wanna make sure I have proper placement, I'm gonna put with the adhesive side facing up so that I can see better. And then I'm gonna take my circle that with my turtle on it, and we're just gonna lay it on top. Okay, and now we've created our little porthole. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna glue this porthole onto the front of my card. Probably about right there. And next what I did is I took some seaweed and I die cut it from the sailing, or actually the smooth sailing dies. I used vellum and then I cut another one in Granny Apple Green, and I'm just gonna layer them over together. And then next I'm gonna do a little bit of stamping. Yeah, one of the nice things when you have images in your designer series paper is you can use them as accents to be able to get a little more color without a lot of stamping. All right, so I'm gonna set that aside for a minute, let that glue dry while I do our stamping. So what I did is I pre-cut out a narrow rectangle from the stitched rectangle dies. I used, I believe, the second narrowest one, and I'm gonna take my Calypso Coral ink pad and we're gonna stamp the sentiment on there. And I am using the sentiment that says, "My love for you is bigger than the ocean." So I'm just gonna stamp that, maybe a little off to the left, to allow room for my seaweed. Now because my porthole is lifted a little bit, I want to go ahead and lift as well my sentiment so that it matches and my seaweed can span the distance. So we're going to use some dimensionals. And we're going to put this at the bottom here. And then next what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue on my seaweed. I'm going to put it a little bit here on the bottom where I know that I want it. And then it's kind of a guessing game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of gently lift some of these areas and put a little adhesive on here, just a couple of tiny little dots, so that my seaweed won't be bouncing around a bunch. Now some of this glue will dry and we won't see quite all of it. Okay, next we have our inside part of the card to do. And I took a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of the Whisper White cardstock, and I took from the stamp set the jellyfish. And again, I'm gonna stamp in the Calypso Coral. But before I do that, I want to add a strip, a 3/4 by 4 inch strip that was remaining that I cut off from my blue speckled layer. I'm just going to put that down here at the bottom. And then we're going to stamp a jellyfish right here in the corner to tie in that real pretty color. All right, guys, we are almost done with this card. So we're gonna put this on the inside, and then our card is done. So guys, I will be posting this video on my YouTube as well, and you'll be able to see it on my blog. If you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I will post that link for you as well so that you can subscribe and be able to watch my videos each week. You can also too catch the replay here on my Facebook page if you are not able to catch me live. So guys, these are our 2 porthole cards. Like I said, if you'll share, let your family and friends have some fun creativity for the week. I will enter you into the drawing and you will have one of these cards mailed to you. Guys, if you like any of the products that I have shown today, you are welcome to shop in my online store. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Each month I do have a host code. I will post the host code in this post below, but also too, you can always hop on over to my blog and get the current month's code each time. Guys, stay connected to my events so that you know what's happening, what classes I have coming up. You can join my email newsletter to be able to get product and event updates. And guys, I thank you for watching, and I look forward to being able to join you at live next week for next week's Make It Monday. Take care and stay safe, stay well. Bye guys.